Okay, so every week I will try to take a look at some of y'all's essays and make some corrections to them to make sure that we're getting everything we want done out of there. Okay, so this one, the first one pulling up is by Alex Daly, and on the whole, from the start, it looks like it's okay. But then if you really look at it, there's a few problems, and these are not glaring issues. And so for the first couple of times that we go over this, I will try to do this in such a way that it's not too much. Okay, so right here, we're in the right font, we're in the right size, we've got the right size margin, so a lot of good things are going on. The thing we need to address is the fact that we've got this daily 3 up there. And what I think that's supposed to be is the page numbering, but it says 3 on every page, and so that's not going to work for us. So we need to get that stuff out of there, and we need to go back and put what ought to be in there, which is really a page number that'll run from page to page. So now I've pulled it out. So now we can go back and actually put in what ought to be up there, which is page number, top of page, plain number 3, and now it puts the 1 in there. Now we just need to put that in there, and then we want to make sure this is formatted right, and so we want to tell it to be Times New Roman 11, just like the rest of the essay. Alright, and now we can go back out and we can see, hey, look, there it is. It's done for us. And now we don't have to type it in. It actually is going to format for us. So that's the way you do that. Make sure you're formatting your page numbers. Alright, next, there's a little bit of, what he's saying here is fine, but there is a difference between the spacing here and the spacing here. And it's pretty slight, but some instructors will really make a big deal of it. And I'll try to correct it too as often as I can, because we just want the thing to be in a straight MLA format. So look, we're going to do a select all, and we're going to go into paragraph, and we're just going to take this spacing before and after and set them both to 0. The first one, the before, is set to before. The one before is set to 0, but the one after is still at 10 point, which is the word default. So we're going to take it down to 0, and you're going to see just a very slight change. It's just going to tighten everything together. That's how it ought to look. Again, in the scheme of things, not a big deal. But to some of my colleagues, it's a really big deal, and it'll give them a place to take off points, and I don't want them to. And not myself either for y'all. Okay, so there's that. Other than that, we have the right information here in the MLA heading, his name, my name, the class, the date. The date he has right now as it's kind of what's considered European style. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's okay, but as often as not, it would be better to go ahead and do it in a regular old American style like that. Okay, then we have our step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Content-wise, this looks okay. Works cited. I saw a lot of people turning in works cited as a separate document. Works cited is not a separate document. It's the last page of the document you're working on. So make sure you're doing that as the last one. This is a good start. It's not exactly everything we need, but I'm not going to belabor works cited right now, but just know you need to work diligently on that. I put up a PDF inside the file section of Canvas that has a MLA update file in there, and it is good for helping you figure out what's what. Okay, let's go look at another one. Here we go. We'll look at this one by Ms. Divers. Okay, you can see some of the same stuff. I mean, there's a lot of good things going on here. This looks pretty good, but I want to make sure that it doesn't look pretty good. I want to make sure that it looks right. Okay, so to make this thing a little more correct looking, we're going to take out that colon after professor. We're going to take out this e-course. We don't need that. We're going to center this title. We do want that centered. Okay. You'll notice we're missing the page number, so we're going to go ahead and put that in. Page number, top of page, plain number 3. I'm going to put in the last name, Divers. And we're going to go ahead and put that in the right font. Alright, good. Again, now we have page numbers, and they'll rotate from page to page. That's the benefit of formatting instead of trying to type it in. Same deal, there's a little bit of extra spacing in there, so we're going to fix that too. Select all. right click, go into paragraph. This one has something different. Still had an 8-point space in there. So spacing before and after should be 0. There we go. Tightens it up just a little bit. The content there looks good. Words repeating, the strands, the oppositions, repetitions, all those things I can see them working through. So that's good. It looks like we have some analysis here, so that's good too. What we don't have here is a works cited. We would want to see that. Again, I'm not going to belabor that yet. Next week we will be talking about that quite a bit more. But make sure you do it on this assignment that's coming up, this week 2 assignment. Okay, good. That one looks pretty good. Let's go look at one more. All right. Here's one that I saw quite a few of y'all doing, and this Erickson here has some of the same issues that some of the others do. So let's address some of those. Now, we're going to make a distinction here. Where we put this this information is up in the document header, and that's where we want to pull it out of. And we want to put it down here in the heading, so that MLA heading goes down here, not in the header. So there we go. And of course, you can see the issue right away. We don't have all the information. So his name. There, then comes my name. Alright, and then comes the date. As I said, we want to try to do it American style. 2014. You can see we have all the same font here. We're not in the right font, so let's go ahead and fix the font. Oh, we need to do a select all. Select all. Now we can do the font. Okay, we can see we have some challenging spacing, so we're going to go ahead and fix that too. We're going to go back to our select all. And I know it seems like I'm spending an excessive amount of time on talking about this, but here's the deal. If it doesn't look like you know what you're doing, if my colleagues don't believe that you know what you're doing because your essay doesn't look right just because it's not following the format, you know darn well what they assume. They assume you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're talking about, and you're not going to get a fair grading. I don't like that. I want to take away any ammunition they have to give you a bad grade. So let's make sure the essays look right. You also notice he has some line spacing between above and below here. We want to take out that line spacing, those extra line spacings. So now we have just all double spaced. Again, we don't have the page numbers, so we're going to go back and put those in. Page number, top of page, play number 3. Erickson. Going to get that font to Times New Roman. Good. Okay, now the rest of that looks like the stuff that we should be having. This is some of the better analysis. It's kind of long and lengthy, so that's good. Repetitions, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and call this out, not because it's a problem here, but because I want y'all to know. MLA doesn't leave room for underlining anymore. It used to be something they did, but they don't do it anymore. They also don't subscribe to bolding inside of the essay, so don't do that. He has two lines of a title here. I'm going to go ahead and suggest to you, let's cut that back to 1. There's no documented research that says this, but I'll go ahead and tell you my own personal belief is that better titles get better grades. So this title is a pretty good title because it tells us what assignment we're looking at, and it tells us what the thing we're actually viewing is. Okay, good. Again, no works cited. Not going to beat anybody up for that right now, but we want that. Again, repetition, strands, good. All these things are the right things to be looking at. I like the way it's broken down. I think that makes it a whole lot easier to look at. So on the whole, I think I'll do pretty good with these assignments. Alright, I'm going to stop there so I don't go on too long. I'll always try to do these comments, depending on how the week falls for me. But I always try to do them at least once a week, trying to give you some idea of what's looking good and what's looking like it needs fixing. Alright, again, this early stuff will be about the formatting, to make sure that we have the right format, because only once we get it in the right format can we actually deal with the content. Alright, thank you, and I'll post this for you. Bye.